What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic month so far. Can you see I'm excited? It's, of course, to see you, Virgo, and one other thing. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Virgo, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Harrison has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why, Virgo, because it is Celestial News Monthly. So yeah, it's like my favorite time of the month here, Virgo. But Virgo, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling pumped. Just great energy all around here, Virgo. So I have oracle cards here, Zodiac oracle cards with each of the signs that the sun and the planets are in. And we even got a little lunar shenanigans going on here. And I'm going to pull an oracle card from this deck, which is a newer one. I've been loving it so far. And then for each one, and then I will be getting some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Virgo, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with. Ooh, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching Virgo, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd like them. But before we get into this energy there, Virgo, let's talk about this party that Scorpio's throwing in their sign, because they got the sun that's entering Scorpio. We have your ruler, Mercury, that's going to be entering, and then their ruler, one of their rulers, Mars, has been chilling in Scorpio going to be chilling for a little bit longer. But let's talk about the sun first, because the sun's going to be entering on the 23rd of October at about 12:21 Eastern time. That'll be in the afternoon there, Virgo, and we'll be there through the 22nd of November. And with this energy, Virgo, there's a heightened sense of introspection, a great energy for doing reflection and kind of just journeying within, digging down to the depths of you and seeing if there's any energies that need to be brought up to the light there. And I was actually, I said this while I was doing Gemini's reading, and I thought that was an interesting thought there too, because, when it comes to, I'm just thinking about retrogrades and how they deal with reflections and things, and considering that your ruler goes retrograde at least 3 times a year, you and Gemini are just like masters of reflection. So I really feel like this can be a very powerful time for you there, Virgo. But also, you may notice that emotions are going to be a little more intense, and that's just because Scorpio is considered the most intense sign of the zodiac. They do feel to a very deep degree. And we want to be careful about getting sort of locked in or just kind of fixated on one emotion and letting that just kind of drag us down there, Virgo. So something to be mindful of there. You'll be feeling a lot more. But it's a little different from Cancer season, where we kind of feel just like a whole bunch. It's a little different. But also, this is a very great energy though for being able to bounce back from challenges. So any sort of things that you may have been putting off, or things you've been afraid to face, or whatever that's looking like, now you can kind of face your fears head on, and whatever, any kind of challenges head on there, because Scorpio is being both ruled by Mars and by Pluto. They're a very powerful sign, very resilient. So embrace that energy, Virgo. Great energy for transformation as well, for change and for growth, and thinking about all the ways that you can evolve. But also too, Virgo, you may notice that you're drawn to subjects that may be considered taboo, talking about sex, death, things along those lines, the occult, and kind of mysterious energies. So pay attention to that. Maybe you want to bust out a crystal ball there. Maybe we're communing with the spirits. Maybe we're talking. Well, we're talking. Maybe I mean I talk with the cards sometimes. I mean you see how me and the Empress be kicking it. But make sure to do some research on that, Virgo. But very intuitive energy that Scorpio energy brings. And you're really going to be in it because your ruler is going to be entering Scorpio on the 22nd, day before the sun, the 22nd of October, will be there through the 10th of November. And with this is a time of great depth and of intimacy. Because I feel like with Mercury being in Scorpio, this is a little more reserved placement for Mercury. You might get in a more sort of like an observing type of place, just kind of it's like kind of I was telling Gemini, it's like, I remember reading this quote, we got 2 ears and one mouth, so you might be kind of just like kind of listening more and just sort of choosing your word choice a little more carefully, maybe being even a little more secretive in a way. But this is a very effective energy, very effective for also discussing like relationships, because again, it's taking, when you go from Libra into Scorpio, it's taking that one-on-one relationship that you establish in Libra and taking it to that next level. So good for discussing relationships, finances, considering that they deal with like loans, joint finances, and assets and things, but also talking about mortality as well, because they also deal with wills and so being associated with the 8th house, it's a very interesting house, but it is one that is necessary for growth there, Virgo. And then lastly, you have Mars that's going to be in Scorpio to the 24th of November, just a little after Sag season starts. And with this energy, this really kind of just fuels us. You may be feeling a little more passionate. May notice the energies are feeling a little more magnetic, and it's just a very powerful, resilient energy. So again, for just facing just like adversity head on there, and not running from it in fear. Mars is at home in Scorpio along with Aries, but it's like now we're in this just like this really kind of driven type of energy there. So something to pay attention to. And the nice little thing about this little bonus there is, depending on where your Virgo placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign. And sextiles are very, after the trines, they're very fortunate energy, very easy flowing type of energy, can bring about a little bit of luck in things, but the energy is a little passive. It's something that you have to do with. Something you have to do something with. It's just like potential in a sense. So it's just like we'd have all the potential in the world, but if we don't do anything with it, then there just sits, So just something to work with there, Virgo. And considering, I really feel this could be a bonus too. Really great energy for you, because you actually, Scorpio started off with this card too. But for your Oracle card, you got the Healing Energy card. And I'm more so with this energy. I feel like for some that there is this energy of, because yours is one, Virgo, that is a sign of service, and I really do feel like that you do bring a lot of healing energy to the mix, however that may be looking. Maybe we're doing this through, maybe through like life coaching. Maybe we're doing this because you're being associated with the 6th house. You're 6th house is associated with like health as well, and so maybe you're getting into some, like, maybe we're in like nursing, or maybe you're thinking about taking up some type of nursing, or maybe doing some sort of like volunteering, or something where I feel like it's just like that you can bring a little more efficiency or a little more growth and a little more kind of embodying that best version, or helping people kind of get to that highest vibration in a sense, really. And I like that, Virgo. I really feel like it's like this. It's giving me a combination of kind of like King of Pentacles, which is you for me, and like a Queen of Pentacles energy, taking your resources and then taking all that abundance you have and then spreading that energy some, but I also feel like that not even just that, Virgo, where it is you are a great sign for service, we also want to make sure that we are being of service to ourselves as well, and providing some of that healing energy. Maybe if you've been maybe kind of been feeling burnt out from work as of late, or doing maybe your business, or maybe you have someone that you're taking care of, or whatever that is, just making sure that you take some time to, maybe just connect with the earth, maybe get out in nature, like maybe sitting under a tree here, Virgo, maybe getting by some water, and making sure that we're getting just enough rest, and maybe doing some meditation. And I'm even getting where, because I'm thinking about your opposite sign, Pisces. And we're gonna, oh, you're the first one that I've actually switched things around here, Virgo. We're gonna switch this a little bit. Because I'm thinking about your opposite sign, Pisces, in the sense that, because you can be Virgo, you know, where Pisces is meant to, what they can learn from you is to kind of bring order to, to their world, because they're such a spiritual sign tapped into that dream world and things. What you're meant to learn from, because we learn a lot from our opposite signs. We need each other in a sense. And I feel like Pisces for you is to help you kind of get a little detached from this realm, because you are a very expert manifester, I feel like. And I feel like you can manifest really fast, you know, of the earth signs. And but I feel like it's really kind of connecting to that healing energy of source, you know, to really kind of get rooted into and like becoming one with that kind of universal energy. Tap into that, learn more of that sort of like psychic side of yourself, you know, that more intuitive side. And just even kind of doing some yeah, just like some spiritual healing as well there, Virgo. I feel like for some, that's interesting. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Virgo. Alright, Virgo, so you have the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Two of Swords, and then the Five of Swords here. A lot of doubles here, Virgo. And I feel like with this here, Virgo, I really want to start. So I feel like let's start with the Two of Wands. Because it almost feels like with the Two of Wands that it's paying attention to where we're kind of like, I feel like the choice, because the twos deal with like the choices, and it's just like, where are we choosing to put our energies into? You know, how are we, I feel like almost in a sense, how are we kind of healing the world, healing ourselves and healing the world even as well? You know, what things are we, it feels like we're thinking about some things that are a little bit bigger than ourselves, and just sort of like the day-to-day type of things, you know, like, hmm. It's very fascinating, Virgo, because it's like this energy doesn't feel like necessarily. It's like paying attention to what we're investing into, or it's like what we're. Okay. It's what this is giving me is like, you know, what the energy that we're putting into things. It's seeing, I feel like it's paying attention to what we get back. Because I feel like with the Seven of Cups, it's like maybe for some we're in this place of where we're trying to decide what we want to maybe kind of do in life in a sense. You know, like maybe there's just been, it feels like almost like that maybe just like the day-to-day type of stuff maybe hasn't been having you feel as fulfilled as we would like. You know, that maybe we've been maybe kind of, because the Five of Swords can be like an energy of comparing yourselves to others. And maybe there's been this thing of where we've been kind of just seeing like maybe on social media and things like that, like, you know, people kind of doing this, like maybe traveling, or maybe even like just doing some really kind of like, maybe they're doing like just kind of following their dreams in a sense. And it feels like with the Seven of Cups that maybe we feel like we don't have either as many choices as we have, or it's like we want to do more, but it's just there's this oscillating energy that's coming with the Two of Swords, and it's like we're not sure to pick between maybe like what our heart wants and what like maybe like what society even wants in a sense. I feel like something very heavy with this Five of Swords, Two of Swords here that's kind of coming through there. And I'm just wondering, Virgo, if like, you know, I feel like there's going to be a question of, is this like, is what you're doing, providing this. It's like is what you're getting. Getting like a Six of Pentacles type of vibe. Is what you're getting, giving out, bringing in the same amount of things that you're putting into. You know, like is there that balance that's going on there? Do you feel kind of like rejuvenated? Like for example, when I'm, because there are days where, you know, when I come to do like tarot and, you know, kind of record for the videos, it's just like there's sometimes I'm like, oh, do I really want to record? I'd rather just kind of slack off and just sort of like just do whatever, maybe do some learning or whatever the hell. And but then when I get started, there is this just sort of like this revitalization. It's just like now I'm not just getting for myself, you know, I am getting back something. And maybe that's even another thing too, Virgo, that we're wanting to do maybe something a little more meaningful with ourselves. And it's not to say that you're not doing something already, but maybe we want to think about getting involved in maybe some sort of like charities or or maybe even get involved in like community projects and things. And maybe we're not seeing. Let me get a little bit more on the Seven of Cups here, Virgo. Thank you. Alright, Virgo, let's see what's going on here. Oh, what's up, girl? Interesting. Gemini got her too. All right, so the Seven of Cups is clarified by the Six of Swords and then the Empress. And that's interesting. I'm getting a lot from the Empress, because the Empress. All right, let's talk about you, girl. Because the Empress. See, I told you we kind of talk from time to time, but I feel that maybe for some we're just not feeling as like just as abundant in our decisions, or it's just like we're like it just feels like that there could be more that we're wanting in a sense. It's like with the Six of Swords, where like it's giving me this kind of stuck energy, and I feel like it's just like we want to move on to like a new type of experience. And I do feel that in order to get this like for some, I feel like this fulfillment is coming from, again, you and Pisces, I feel like are ones that are meant to, you know, what you're trying to learn here is just like this healing through service. And it's just like I feel like, you know, and not that you necessarily have to volunteer, but maybe this is even just kind of going around and maybe cleaning up your neighborhood. But something there's a lot of healing energy here. I feel like, or a lot of understanding that could come from. I feel like maybe connecting with nature, because the Empress rules. One of the signs she rules over is Taurus, and she rules over Libra. And I feel like that when we're able to connect with that kind of that source energy, then it's like we know what to do with it. It's like we can feel a little more divinely guided and find the thing that we're meant to do that brings us the most sense of fulfillment, the most gratitude. And that seems to be something that's kind of going around here. I'm noticing with the during Scorpio season, it's just like this gratitude energy that seems to be kind of floating around here. But all right, something to. I hope that made sense, Virgo. You know, something to think about there. All right, but let's go ahead and move on to Pisces, because you have Saturn that's going direct, and then you have Neptune that's retrograde in Pisces. Now Saturn's going to be going direct on the 4th of November, and it's going to be in Pisces for the next few years, so we can just kind of settle in there, Virgo. And the thing too, well, I'll talk about that in a second. But with this energy, Saturn going direct, that there is going to be a focus on deepening spiritual understanding and seeking a higher purpose. And that's sort of like what this feels like. It just feels like how you started off with just like minor arcana cards. It just feels like that everything was just sort of like that things have maybe just been kind of meh as of late. There hasn't been any sort of lust, and now or like lust for life or things like that. Nothing that's been like really exciting, and now we're looking for something grand or something Empress like. And now, but I feel like that in order to do that, there's something that I do. I'm getting a strong sense of like, maybe even like the Six of Swords can be like kind of going on like a trip, kind of like a journey by water, possibly. So maybe it's like, again, maybe getting out in nature, maybe going on like a little like a sabbatical or going on a vacation or something, just to kind of collect yourself and kind of figure out what does fulfillment look like to you. Like, give me kind of like Ten of Cups, kind of Ten of Pentacles type of vibes, and what would, because the Empress is about that kind of giving and receiving energy. She has the world to give, and it's just like that. What can we, but it really does feel like we're trying to connect. I'm getting cross wires here. Hold on. And with back to Saturn and Pisces, you may also notice too, Virgo, that you may have troubles setting emotional boundaries, just because Pisces, they're ruled by Jupiter, but they're also ruled by Neptune, and Neptune has no boundaries. And Neptune is one that it just has this really big compassion for the world, for just this universal compassion. And so, being mindful about setting boundaries and letting people, take advantage of that healing energy that you have there, Virgo, because you really are expert healers. I do feel like Virgo's really great, made great like doctors and nurses and working in those types of fields. But also, you may notice too, Virgo, that you may feel a sense of duty towards like family and community, and I keep wanting to get back to your reading because this energy, and that makes sense why we move this stuff around here. But let me move on before we really get into it, because then also Neptune is retrograde in Pisces until the 6th of December, and with this energy, Neptune has been chilling in Pisces for a while, and she's got a few more years to go there. But this is a very powerful energy for introspection. We were just talking about retrogrades, and kind of I feel like reflecting on those kind of bigger questions, maybe, Virgo, that we have for ourselves. What does abundance look like for you? Because it looks differently for everyone, and I feel like this Five of Swords is just like we've been. It's like, again, it's like we're kind of. Five of Swords, Two of Swords is like we're stuck between like, where are we really following our guidances? What we're putting in, is this flowering the way that we would like to? And you're asking yourself those kind of deeper questions in life, and kind of making your dreams manifest. So really something to think about there with this energy. And then the kind of tougher thing with this, now when it comes to Neptune, you'll need to know your time of birth for that. And I also have some apps down in the description box that really kind of, especially time passages. That's a really dope one that I like working with. But depending on where your Virgo placements are, this is forming an opposition with your sign. And oppositions are tough, especially I feel like the one with Saturn is going to be tough, because Saturn's considered a malefic planet, and then you have a tough tension like an opposition. You might feel this that merging of energies that creates that polarity, and where it may be tough, but it can also be rewarding, Virgo. But usually oppositions are like situations and in relationships that force you to make decisions, kind of almost like, not necessarily put your back against the wall, but it's like your front doors, someone's knocking at your front door and someone's knocking at your back door. Which one are we answering? This can be kind of tough energy, but if we can find the balance in between, we can make this thing work. But let me get your oracle card on this and get some details. Interesting. All right, Virgo. This has been going around a little bit too, because you got the elixir of life here. And with this card, again, this is about thinking about kind of like bigger things in life, like kind of like almost like that question of like mortality. And it's just like, are we getting the most that we can out of life, And you know what? I'm going to move this one a little bit too, because that kind of ties into, because I want to say, I think Gemini got the same thing with this as well. But with this elixir of life, it's about kind of thinking about the laws of the universe, and it just, again, thinking about just sort of like our purpose as as spiritual beings being in this physical realm, and it's just like how we're manifesting, how we're making the most of this gift that has been given to us by source, and tapping into bigger energies, and because I do feel like that, Virgo, there may be these, I feel like these bigger questions that you might be asking yourself during this season. They may be tougher ones, but I do feel like they are appropriate to getting you on the trajectory that you're wanting to go, get you moving on, getting you feel like out of this kind of stuck Six of Swords energy and kind of getting this thing moving. But I do feel like it's like trying to not be hung up by the challenge of it, because sometimes that challenge can get us where we're kind of where we feel disheartened, maybe, in a way, and then that just gets us back into sort of just like, because again, how you started was just like it gave me just very sort of mundane in a way. And I get where, the sixth house may not be the most exciting house, but it's like the routines are necessary, but it felt different. It felt almost like a stuck in a rut type of energy. And and I feel like that it's more so kind of like tapping into like the, again, this elixir. It's like opening this jar and like really kind of tasting, the what life really has to offer you, and seeing like a deeper type of meaning in a sense. Like, very fascinating. Let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Yeah, I hope that this makes sense, Virgo. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Virgo. All right, Virgo. So you have the Five of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Wands here. And you got a lot of cups here, Virgo, and I feel like with the Nine of Cups popping up here, there's this almost like this sense of longing that's coming up here. These cups are giving me that. It's not that we haven't been feeling good, but maybe just there's nothing that we haven't been feeling like we've been wanting to celebrate for a while. And I'm even kind of getting that, because of this, maybe this lack of fulfillment or something like that, Virgo, that maybe for some, because the Seven of Cups for me, and even the Three of Cups, can get into this, it's like kind of like a prelude to a devil moment. And we want to be mindful, I feel, this season of, and just in general, of kind of like indulging in escapisms, just because we're not quite, it's like we can't seem to, because we can't seem to find that deeper purpose, that we get lost in this material realm, and we get lost in the, the just like the distractions that this realm can create. And I feel like that, it feels like that there has been this sort of like this disappointment with life, that we're just sort of, it's like we've invested in something, we've been working hard at something, but then you get to the end of it and it's just like that, oh, is this it? That type of energy is what this Eight of Pentacles is kind of giving me here. And it's like, we've been working hard, but now it's just like the scroll is just kind of blank, now it almost feels like that we almost need like a reset, even in a sense. And it's not to say that you're not on your life's path or anything like that, but it's just like that maybe it's doing more things that bring it a little more fulfillment in your life, maybe creating more like times again for maybe doing some like going out in nature, maybe even doing some like creative projects. Or I'm even getting to just considering where your ruler's getting ready to move. Your ruler's about to be really busy here over the next couple of seasons, and it's like we're going to be kind of you're going to be at this sort of like expansive type of energy, and utilize this Scorpio energy, I feel like right now, to really kind of dig deep and find out where you want to go, because the Ace of Wands is like that sort of like divine inspiration, divine passion, and it's like that fire. And it's like that's where I feel like for some it's like we're getting ready to find that fire again, because it never really goes out. It's like sometimes it can, I feel it can be reduced to maybe like a candle size, but we just need to fuel that energy again, kind of work in a different type of way, because the Eight of Pentacles, this is the sun in Virgo, and I feel like it's taking a hard look at your how you've been operating, how your routine has been here as of late, and has it been conducive to what you deep down really wish for, because the Nine of Cups is like it's making a wish and then it's being in that vibration, feeling what it likes, like what would abundance feel like, what would success be like, what are some dreams that you've that you may have put aside in order to maybe focus on some other things, more, because I do feel like Virgo's energy is a sign that is where it is very practical, very efficient. It is one that I do feel like sometimes can get a little too wrapped up in the material, and it makes sense because you're the earth, your earth energy, but you in particular, you are the mutable earth sign, and you have that flexibility that is a little bit harder for, let's say, Taurus or Capricorn in order to channel. So I do feel that there, and it may even be what might be part of the thing is, because I'm getting like even like a change of scenery might even be needed, something that kind of kickstarts you, just kind of light a fire underneath you with the Three of Wands. Like maybe for some it's like maybe need to change a work environment, paying attention to how maybe your coworkers interact around you, or maybe even just like the people around you every day, like are we just kind of seeing the same old people talk about the same old things, just same old stuff, and and are they following their aspirations, and in dreams, and I feel like too, Virgo, just one more thing. I'm just feeling with the Nine of Cups that again with that Five of Swords energy that was kind of popping through, that kind of comparing yourself to others. I feel like if we can find a way when you're maybe happen to be scrolling through social media to not let that not to like try to look at other people's like accomplishments and things as something that brings you down. Let that be a motivator that if they can do it, you can do it, Virgo. Because sometimes when I'm thinking about like when I'm doing this channel and stuff, there are so many other readers that have like so many odd views and blah 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 and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter, because at one point they were exactly where I was. They had to start from somewhere, and you had to work on that thing. And maybe you want to be, I don't know, maybe ceramics popped in my head, so maybe you want to start making ceramic cups. You may think like, oh, there's a bunch of people that are doing that already. How can I make my point? But there aren't anyone doing it exactly like you do it, Virgo, because that's the beauty of this journey. You are unique. You do bring a different perspective. Source split off as many ways as it did, because it wanted to experience life in so many different ways. It's just like this law of the universe, and kind of asking. All right, Virgo, I think I'm going to pull out of that. But something to think about. A lot to think about. Let me not make it light of that. It's a lot to think about, but it's necessary. I feel like it's things that lead to growth. But let's talk about where else your ruler is moving. Because Mercury is going to be moving into Sagittarius on the 10th of November and will be there through the 1st of December. And with this energy, luckily I feel like, Virgo, after you get out of this kind of intense sort of Scorpio energy, it's going to move, when excuse me, Mercury and Sagittarius are thinking may become more optimistic and more open-minded and more expansive. So that's a plus. If you've really been, if this is something you've been kind of contemplating, or you find yourself contemplating over Scorpio season, dig into that expansive energy. But you may notice too, Virgo, that you may express yourselves more boldly and more honestly. And I feel like the one thing to kind of be mindful of, where, because it's nice to have that honesty, be assertive in things, and kind of to take charge. And I feel like more so for you, that's gonna make. Let me get a little more tea there, Virgo. That might be something too. I'm clearing my throat so much. That might be an energy of where we're gonna speak up and maybe kind of come into that. Because the Empress doesn't just sit around and just look pretty. She's the type that she rules. She's Venus. She rules two houses, as opposed to the Emperor, who's just nothing against Aries, but the Emperor's just Aries, and it's I feel like maybe some of you can maybe find your voice, kind of speak up like, oh, I need to change, and like being more honest with yourself. But on the other aspect of that too, just because Sagittarius energy does have the capacity for that bluntness, we do want to be mindful of that, kind of make sure we're kind of approaching things in a more sort of diplomatic type of way. Honest, but, mindful. And then, and this is where I feel like too, where maybe this energy of travel is kind of coming into as well. Because I was telling Gemini something similar, and they actually got a couple cards for that as well. But I feel that you may also feel drawn to travel, because Sagittarius is about, just like Gemini, they're about that travel. But the difference between those two is where Gemini is like kind of like maybe going around like from like your neighborhood to the city, kind of expanding on like a like maybe like state to state, whereas Sagittarius' energy is like from different state to a whole different country, moving to a different continent. And not to say there's necessarily something that extreme is happening, Virgo, but it's just like I feel like that maybe some travel would maybe do you some good. But also this can be great for studying, maybe studying more into kind of like maybe kind of like more spirituality, kind of asking yourself these kind of deeper life questions, doing some meditation, some maybe even going for like maybe going on like a retreat possibly, or whatever that may look like there for you, Virgo. But depending on where your placements are at as well, this is going to be forming a square with your sign. And squares, like oppositions, they're tough energies. Now, luckily, Mercury's kind of a neutral planet, so is this your ruler? It shouldn't be as intense as, let's say, like a Saturn type of energy. But it is something where you're going to notice like some challenges, some delays, and just some hiccups along the way. But that doesn't mean that abundance and things aren't coming. It's just like it's just gonna take a little bit longer. Just like have to push a little bit more. But luckily we're in Scorpio season, so that's fantastic. We're feeling that energy there, Virgo. But let's get some tarot on this, get an oracle on this. Oh, interesting, Virgo. All right, so you have the leadership card here, and I like that, Virgo. I feel that this energy gives me. For some, I do feel like that you are getting ready to possibly going, maybe thinking about getting into a different state of leadership in a sense. Maybe we're getting ready to go for that promotion, you know, that sort of bold Sagittarius energy. Now we're getting ready to, yeah, just kind of like voice our opinions, you know, like, hey, I think I'm ready to, you know, I'm ready to step up and be, you know, manager, CEO, or maybe even start your own type of business there, Virgo. But I do feel like there's this confidence that is going to be needed, you know, that in order to tackle that, you know. And I feel like that's kind of, I'm just sort of looking at that healing energy again, and I feel like there's somewhere it's like that may help kind of heal that self-esteem, is kind of putting yourself in something maybe that's a little uncomfortable in a sense, you know, like, you know, like it's like I'm not sure how I'm going to lead this thing, or how I'm going to bring this abundance, but you know what, I'm going to figure it out. You know, I'm gonna give it my all, and then kind of come into this thing. And you know, I feel like it's like channeling that energy of the tiger, where, you know, at some point in time, you know, even some of the best leaders, you know, there was this energy, they were afraid at some point, you know, when you come to leadership, because, you know, you're having a lot more responsibility in things like that. You know, it's only natural. And again, it's not about, you know, again, that Five of Swords is really coming through, just like not comparing ourselves to others. You know, you are your own type of leader, and you'll find your groove as you go, and as you grow, and as you evolve, and things like that. But I'm also getting with this leadership energy, is that if I feel like for some, it's like we're waiting for something big to happen. You know, it's like this Ace of Wands here. It's like we feel that there's a change that's needed, but it's like we're waiting just for, I don't know, for something to just kind of fall out of the sky, or because it's like Nine of Cups is one thing to kind of wish and, you know, feel this thing, but it's another thing, it's like it's the taking of action. It's like we want to be an empress, but we don't want to put in, we know we're waiting for just someone to offer us an empress role, but you got to put in that work first. That Nine of Pentacles, which is Venus in Virgo. And it feels like that, it's like, it's, you know, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to take leadership of your life, and like really kind of lead yourself in the direction that you want to go, to try to find that sense of clarity. It's almost giving me like an Ace of Swords, almost like a Queen of Swords type of energy here, but even like Emperor kind of vibes here. But let's get some tarot on this, and get some more details with that. Thank you. Alright, let's see what's going on here, Virgo. Oh! I'm with it. So, you have the the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Moon card, and the Chariot. Now let's talk about this Chariot, because I feel like that this is something where, however this is going, whether you're working towards a leadership role, maybe even we're becoming the leader of our own type of business, or if we're leaders of our lives, we're gonna have to get this Chariot moving. You know, it's like, usually there's these, and I like that, they're you can't really see the animals that are moving this thing, because I feel like it's like waiting for, like, well, where do you want to go? You know, like, what does that look like? You know, there's this question. It's like we need to create, I feel like this, with this Five of Wands, need to create this sense of conflict, in a sense, you know, kind of put yourself out there, like, and challenge yourself. It gives me sort of like how I was talking with like sextile, this energy with Scorpio. You know, it's one of those things where it's easy, it's potential that you have here, but it's just like, if we don't do anything with it, then it just sits, and you know, then we're not able to cross that finish line in a way. You know, it's just like we won't be able to bring that to completion. We need to journey into the unknown with the Moon card here, and face it with bravery. And I do feel like for some, there's this energy that we feel like it's like something is missing with the Five of Pentacles, that we don't have this or we don't have that, or this could be maybe certain abilities, maybe certain skills, maybe certain resources, whatever this lack is. But if we operate from that lack mentality, then that's what we're going to keep having, is just lack thereof. There's always something. When I started this channel, I was on this little thin board, or this thin table that rocked. I had to put something underneath it. Luckily I went ahead and I had enough money, and I bought a couple cameras, and I was doing it off my laptop, and I had the one deck that I was working with and trying to make that work. And then, as it grew and as it made sense, and intuitively you just kind of figure that things out as you grow, and then it grows and it grows, and it just works out. But I do feel like that there is a plan, with the Five of Wands that's needing to be put into motion, because it's just like that it's almost like that we've gotten into sort of like this comfortable type of energy, in a sense there, Virgo, or it's like we're afraid to get out of this sense of comfort and fear of maybe ending up in this state of lack. And I'm not saying we're making like a reckless move or anything like that. It's this, like, it's a calculated risk that we're making, and because the Four of Wands is Venus in Virgo. Oh, excuse me, no, it's not. It's Venus in Aries, and I'm really wanting the Knight of Pentacles to come out, because it's just like we're working on ourselves. That's the energy that it feels like, that we're really kind of. And you know what, too? I was just reading a little something about talking about the moon. And you know how when you're out, like, out at night, and the moon's shining bright, and you kind of see like the trees, and it'll make these kind of like crazy, maybe scary shapes and things. Your imagination's just really kind of running wild. That's what this moon card, I feel like, is saying. It's just like not just indulging in just the fears and things, but what could possibly blossom out of that. Because after the moon is the sun, the brightness, the happiness, the abundance, the victory. And the Chariot is a card of victory. And I feel like it's setting your course towards victory, and then starting making moves towards that thing there, Virgo. And the Chariot too, since I was talking about travel and things, another card of maybe we can find this kind of inspiration if we kind of remove ourselves, especially if you've been kind of feeling stuck in this rut. Maybe you're taking the same route to work every day, or walking the same route, going to the same stuff. It's something about going out of left field, and then you kind of get this like, oh, just something just comes to you, that divine inspiration, Ace of Wands, and then we start cooking there, Virgo. So a little something to think about. And I get it, Virgo. I'm not trying to make light of this. This is a lot to think about, and it can be stressful, and it can be. But it's only impossible if we believe that it's impossible. We feed in that energy. Our thoughts are very powerful. Now let's talk about, let's get some tea. Let's talk about Taurus energy. Because Taurus, you got Big Papa Jupiter and Uranus that are retrograde in Taurus. And then we got a little special lunar shenanigan going on there. Speaking of the moon, we're having a full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in Taurus. Now let's talk about Jupiter first, because Jupiter is going to be retrograde until about the end of the year, the 30th of December. And with this energy, Virgo, this is a great energy for kind of reevaluating your approach to wealth, to investments, to material comfort, or maybe even to life in general. Just like thinking of the areas where you're not feeling secure in. But it's also too, it's kind of like maybe seeking advice to in these areas that we might be feeling weak in. So maybe if we're worried about money, maybe we're, Five of Pentacles here. Maybe we're looking to maybe look up some stuff on YouTube, or maybe even talk to like a financial advisor, or, find something to, something to maybe help manage funds, or, maybe we're trying to, get like a self-esteem thing. So maybe we're talking to, looking for different meditations, or maybe looking for a life coach, or whatever that might be looking like. But great energies for thinking about, security in the long terms there and how we make the abundance flow just indefinitely. And then you got Uranus that's going to be retrograde until next year, the little bit after Aquarius season starts, the 27th of January, 2024. And Uranus has been chilling in Aquarius for a while. So, he's got about 2 more years. I want to say he moves signs every 7 years. And there's been a lot of changes that Uranus is bringing, but I feel like it's because we are getting ready to get to a new age there with Pluto getting ready to make a move into Aquarius. Because when the outer planets move again, it's a big deal. It's like yeah, and I feel like that. Well, you've already noticed this, Virgo. There's been changes in currency, and things are going to continue to change. There's been changes in investments and in our economic structure. And you may notice too, because Taurus can deal with the environment as well. There may be a heightened awareness towards environmental issues. And that might be something too. I feel like maybe even like, just like, again, like Mars talking about charity things, like taking up some sort of cause. I feel like it's just like, if we haven't been feeling this sense of fulfillment, maybe doing something bigger than yourself can help you start thinking about those kind of larger than life types of things. But last little thing, with this eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse that's happening, it's going to be happening on the 28th of October. And with this is great energy for reckoning any sort of old debts, getting finances in order, and investing in the right things and people. And since you have the Seven of Pentacles here, which for me is like a card of investments, it's really kind of evaluating that and what things need to change and where we can kind of grow from this energy there, Virgo. And now you got a lot of stuff happening here. And with Uranus, just like with Neptune, you'll need your exact time to know if this is forming a trine with your sign. But that's what's happening with this Taurus energy, is forming trines with your placements, in which trines are very fast moving energies. They remove blockages, and it can be very collaborative, very lucky. Energy creates opportunities, but it's just that we gotta seize that thing, Virgo. We can't be afraid to jump and see what happens. Tap into that Ace of Wands, especially if you're feeling that need to I don't know, to kind of switch things up. But let's get an oracle card on this, Virgo. See what's going on. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Interesting. All right, Virgo. So you got the banish a curse here, and I feel like that this is the almost like the curse that we may have put on ourselves here, Virgo. Like, pay attention to where your mindset has been. Have you been telling yourself that you can't do something? Very Five of Pentacles. Have we been operating from this place of lack? Have we let like the thoughts of others and their achievements kind of bring us down, make us feel like we can't accomplish anything? What is that? Or has there been someone, or that has been maybe kind of put you down, maybe that told you can't be a leader, that you can't do, like all those kind of like low vibrations. And it's just like switching that mentality up, telling yourself, like, it's like imagining that you're whatever this negative thing that it is. It's just like, let's say this was like leadership, you absolutely can, and imagine yourself pulling that dagger out there. It gives me very kind of Ten of Swords type of vibes. It's like now we've gotten to this point where it's like we've hit rock bottom, and now with these snakes kind of like in this card here, it's like now we're trying to, it's a need to kind of shed this skin and kind of get out of this. And it's uncomfortable at first. We may not believe that we could, especially if this is something you've been operating in for a while. It can feel hard to kind of shed that skin and to get out of that mentality. But that discomfort is just part of life, the elixir of life. But it leads to abundance, and leads to growth, and leads to fulfillment, and all the things that at least Empress dreams. And so I'm even getting like a Seven of Wands type of energy, as you're going forward. I feel, especially for those of you maybe who are think about maybe getting into leadership, because if you get into this place of doubt, and it's like this setting boundaries in a way. It's just like, what you're doing, exactly where you're meant to be and how you're meant to lead. And let me get some let's get some tarot on this banish here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, all right, Virgo. Oh, and I like that too. You look at that little Ace of Cups there. So you got the Ace of Cups, the ooh, a lot of got some people here. Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and then you got the Tower here, Virgo. And this is probably one of my favorite combinations when you got the Tower and the Empress coming through here, because as Empress is Venus, the Tower is Mars, and I feel like with whatever this foundation is, these like maybe like this self-deprecating energy that I feel like is putting on there, the stuff that tells us that we won't be able to achieve something. The Tower is about changing that foundation. You know, this might be something where maybe as you know, this could even be for some, maybe this is like a childhood thing, you know, that we've gotten into, or just something where I feel like that either someone or something, and maybe this was even like someone we may have looked up to as a leader, may have said something to you that made you feel some kind of way, and we carried that on, and it kind of took the zest out of our little, maybe took like the pep out of our step, and kind of gotten us into where we were not able to tap into our resources as effectively as you can. But just because we doubt those abilities there, Virgo, that doesn't mean that they're not there. They're showing up plain as day, but it's just like there's something here with the Ace of Cups that is needing to heal from this. The foundation needs to be shifted in a sense, because where the Tower comes through and destroys and gets rid of those old foundations and things, and kind of removes that stuff. That way the Empress can come through and plant new and build off of that. And I feel with like the Ace of Cups here, because this is like that divine love and that like that connection to source, and I feel like it's like, you know, during this season, you know, as you're start kind of doing this healing type of work, this is going to lead to this inspiration. You know, we're going to kind of start believing in ourselves more. Take this energy to do, again, pour some healing energy into yourself. You know, fill up all of your cups, and you know, kind of nurture that. Again, the Page of Cups is giving me that kind of like inner child's energy in a sense. And it may not have been something that happened to you necessarily as a child. This can have been something recently that may have happened. But all the same, it got you maybe feeling some kind of way. And I just feel like really with the Queen of Pentacles here, it's just like that there's this energy of knowing that you have more to offer, more resources at your disposal than you realize. And it's like the sooner that you tune into that energy, then again you'll be able to take action with zeal and whatever it is that you're trying to achieve there, Virgo. And I love that combination, because I know that the Emperor and the Empress are divine counterparts, but I feel like these two are. I love their relationship, and I mean it's fine. It's not like there's any weirdness. You know, Mars rules over Aries, so it's fine. Aries gets it. But let's talk about Libra, because the Empress Venus is coming back home. She's going to be moving into Libra on the 8th of November, and will be there through the 4th of December. With this energy, Virgo, there's an increased emphasis on like harmony, cooperation, and diplomacy in relationships. You know, this is a great energy for like if we've and I almost feel like that this is for you, Virgos. This is something that's been resonating with you. Like, could be something where it's forming that harmony within ourselves. But if we do have dissonance with, you know, maybe Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, you know, some of these people that popped up, great energy for kind of restoring that balance there. But you may also notice too, since I was talking about maybe tapping into like a creative endeavor, because Venus deals with like arts and beauty, and so does, you know, being Venus ruled. You know, Libra's about the same things, and like aesthetic, and they're a very creative sign. And this, you may notice that you have a heightened interest in like art and fashion and design. So allow yourself to do some, you know, maybe pick up some hobbies and things like that. However that may be looking like there for you, Virgo. And one thing though, kind of like a trickiness with Libra, is that if they can't find a balanced approach to something, then they won't make a decision at all. You know, we got to be mindful of indecisiveness. So that's just something to be aware of there, Virgo. But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, look at that, Virgo. Now we got wisdom here. And I like that. Because I feel like with this energy here, Virgo, it's just that it's like when we start to take charge and whatever this looks like, maybe finding the more pursuits of life and, and just like I feel like that this energy that you're maybe going through right now over the season is going to bring a lot of wisdom. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to not just learn some things, but I feel like to also put it into application. Because it's one thing to know something is off there, Virgo, but it's another thing to put it into action, and to start to get results, knowing, you can know that things need to change and that you need to do this, you need to do that, but again, it's just potential. You gotta have to do something with it. There's a lot of action here. I feel like with the Tower, the Chariot, even like that Six of Swords, getting things moving, and only then is that's when I feel like the wisdom really does start to settle in, and I'm just even sort of looking at these tentacles here. It's just like that you got they're just kind of spread all over the place, and I feel that there's a lot to kind of grasp onto in this journey. Even just think with those suction cups, there's so many that things that even like little nuances like that can even pick up there, but I do feel like yours is one you are very you're an intelligent sign being Mercury ruled, and you're very grounded. I feel like in your approach, and so yeah, I feel like it's just like really it's taking these things from you that you learn from these challenges, throwing yourself out of this mundane and really kind of taking these tools that you have and just going out there and just manifesting what you're and creating the reality that you want there, Virgo. But let me get some tarot on this. Definitely getting like a King of Swords type of vibes here, but see what's going on here. Oh, well, I got a different husband here because you got the Queen of Wands husband, you got the King of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Four of Cups, and then the Three of Wands here. A lot of heat here, Virgo, and a lot of chances for success in whatever this is looking like. Again, whether this is a leadership role, even just like yeah, whatever this is that I feel like you set your heart to, it's gonna be one that is gonna be a long journey, and I feel like it's something where it's like with wisdom, sometimes it takes patience to gain that wisdom. But I just actually read something about a perspective on patience that I really like, and it's patience is not just like the act of like enduring and just waiting. It's like what we do with that time while we're in waiting is what really matters. What's the next game plan? It's like, okay, I've done everything that I can here. What else could I possibly do at this moment? And there's nothing you can think of. Then let's stress again. Maybe take up a creative endeavor, do something fun for yourself. However that might look, and just finding I feel like efficient ways to expend this energy here, and I even feel like too, just because the King and Queen of Wands, they're a very passionate couple, and they motivate each other as well, and that's where I feel like it's like having people on your journey that motivate you. I remember having this conversation with these people that I used to work with, and they were kind of saying that it felt like something similar to this. It sort of just felt like it's sort of just kind of like the same old type of stuff, and kind of felt like they were in Groundhog Day, and they were kind of agreeing with that, and they kind of looked at me and it's like, well, I mean, if that's the case, then it's time to change something up, because it's just like no way, like I remember like that, and they're like, oh, kind of same stuff, different day, and it's just like, well, why is it the same stuff? Like it's time for growth, and we're in Scorpio season. If there was any other time to be changing, it's right now. Because Scorpio again is all about that transformation. And it's like getting out of your comfort zone. I feel like here, because the Four of Cups. This is the Moon in Cancer, and I feel like it's just like getting out of that safe space and It's like something about like really kind of trusting your intuition with this, because that's a very intuitive place for the moon to be. I mean, the moon's at home, rules over Cancer, but there's something here. It's just like that we're not getting anything. It's almost like I feel like if we stay in this kind of stagnant energy, then it can lead to this sort of like, well, I just don't kind of care. You know, life is kind of boring. You know, and that there's really nothing to do, and there's nothing to see, and that you've experienced it all. And if like that's the case, Virgo, then I mean, journey's complete. But there is always so much more that we can be learning and can be growing in. You know, I was telling Gemini this too. Being Mercury ruled, yours is one I feel like that should always be learning and always be curious, you know, about life. And that's where that's how that you keep that kind of youthful energy, and that's how you keep growing and really kind of see all the abundance that is around you there. There is great wisdom with that there, Virgo. And go see the world. Because really, the Three of Wands, you know, sometimes there's an ocean behind them here, but you know, with on other Three of Wands, you know, there's like this plane, a couple boats, or like, you know, just like then this person's kind of like looking out to the horizon, just like what else does life have to bring, you know? But all right, I like that, Virgo. All right, let's put King right here, and then let's talk about this last energy here, Pluto and Capricorn. Because with Pluto's going to be in Capricorn until Aquarius season, the 20th of, and I feel like that's a little auspicious timing there too. But with Pluto being in Capricorn, you know, this can lead, there's going to be shifts in power dynamics, you know. When the outer planet, like I was telling you earlier, it's like when the outer planets move, you know, we're talking like Jupiter through Pluto. So I could list them all, but you know what I mean. Jupiter through Pluto. When they start making a move, this really does start affecting on a global scale, because those are in astrology, those are generational aspects. You know, a lot of people share, you know, a lot of people born between, not necessarily from, I was born in 91, but it's like between like 91, probably back from 90 till about 91. Probably almost till about July, maybe September. You know, we all share like Jupiter in Leo, and it's just like those types of things. But you know, we're gonna see a lot of global stuff, a lot of individual stuff too, but a lot more kind of global things happening here, because now we're moving from that more sort of like ambitious, you know, corporate, principled, structured energy of Capricorn to the more futuristic, innovative, freedom loving, you know, humanitarian energy of Aquarius. And so it's going to be a lot, and there's going to be a lot of talk about tower moments all over the place. You know, it's going to be a breakdown of outdated systems, and if things are not down with that future, then it's, you know, Scorpio season. Adapt. You have to adapt. The only constant thing, one of the constant things, is change on this journey. But also too, there, Virgo, there may feel like a heightened sense towards responsibility in for like societal and like global issues. So that's something to be aware of as well. It's like, how can we work with this new energy here and kind of bring more healing into life? You know, maybe you're thinking about being a leader in this change, or whatever that looks like, you know, and you know, like maybe even like banishing that curse, in the sense of like maybe society has told you that you can't do some type of thing, and now you're, and just like with Taurus energy, this is going to be forming a trine with your sign. Well, and again, this Pluto retrograded up to the 27th degree, so you'll need to know your time of birth there. So that's just something to think about. And even though it's a beneficial energy, very fortunate, Pluto is a malefic planet. I had an aspect with Pluto, and actually now that he's coming out of, you know, gone direct, about to do another tap on my moon sign there. So even though it's beneficial, it still can be tough because he is a malefic planet. So something to think about there, Virgo. But let's get your last oracle card here. And that's exactly what you'll need there, Virgo. Willpower. The tenacity. I like that look at that little Taurus energy here. But you'll need that tenacity, that perseverance to go through this change, and whatever that looks like. And because there's going to be, again, wisdom, and that's going to have from this. And I feel like you do have the energy, you have the go-to, and it's just like it's switching up that routine, you know, and getting into this new type of energy, this facing things kind of head on here, Virgo. But let me get your yeah, that's going to definitely be the name of the game here going forward. Keeping that drive, and keeping that hope, that you will succeed and that you can do this thing. And that, again, it's going to be a long journey, but it's something that these challenges are not meant to keep you down. They're meant to help you grow. But let's get your last tarot cards here so I can start getting you out of here. Alright, Virgo, last little bit here. And look at you, racking up these aces. Alright, so you have the... Let me move those up a little bit. So you have the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and then the Four of Pentacles here, Virgo. Let me move that back there. And let's switch back over. Because I do feel that, the Four of Pentacles for me can be like a card of rigidity, kind of like staying stuck in a thing for so long, being in a comfort zone. And I feel like it's like tapping into those resources and pursuing life with passion there, Virgo, especially if you found that you haven't been necessarily like loving life or just been kind of bored with life or just sort of like things like feel like that things haven't had, there's been nothing exciting or nothing to offer. It's just like, well, are we following our hearts? The Knight of Cups, he's very heart driven. For me, it's Scorpio energy. And it's just like, what can we do to change that? How do we, divine inspiration, or not divine inspiration, more so like divine knowledge, divine wisdom with the clarity that's coming through here with the Ace of Swords. And it's just like seeing your intentions clearly, what has been getting in the way of your goals, and then going to pursue that head on there. Take that idea that may have been planted in your head that may have been trying to deter you from your dreams, and plant a new seed, a new idea, and one that gets you to success, Six of Wands, to victory, the Chariot, to change, the Tower, to abundance, the Empress. And I feel like you tap into that energy there, Virgo. There ain't nothing you can't do. Because I was with the Virgo for a long time, and I've seen what you all can manifest, and it's nothing short of incredible. And I feel like when you're really focused and really driven, get in that routine, you knock it out the park. It really is something to marvel at. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. So something to think about there, Virgo. But if you have, and even I know, even like despite that, like I'm even thinking about people I know with Virgo placements, and Virgos is a hardworking sign, so you can accomplish whatever you set your heart to. It's just believing that too there, Virgo. But if you like that, Virgo, really resonates with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Virgo. Especially if you know someone who's been kind of feeling low energies and just needed some kind of healing there. It's like, even like, because I even feel like for some that leadership is standing out. Maybe some of you are trying to do something on a grand scale there. So I would love to see just empresses going out there and just manifesting, bringing abundance to all there, and really really tapping into your energy, being a service. And subscribe there, Empress. Hit that bell button to get notified now. I think I said that as a Gemini too. And you get notified now these videos each week. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, come on over to the Chariot and Friends. Because you got the hottest ticket to come over there, Virgo. And I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, even when they're Pisces. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Jumping towards the future there, Virgo. Changing things up. You got the Fool here. Uranus energy. And so, I feel like it's especially, again, if you've been noticing that things have been in a rut, Scorpio season, it's time to change. It's time to evolve, time to adapt. We're getting into a new era here. We're getting closer to the end of the year. Well, at least, end of the normal year, and we're moving along in the Zodiac there. We're almost getting towards Capricorn season. We're getting into that fall reflective time. So Time to get some plans there, Virgo, and to just go at life with that, like, again, that carpe diem, you know, kind of seize the day type of energy, and to switch up that routine and to remove the shackles that have may been put on you, whether it be by society, by people, by living situation, whatever that's looking like there for you, Virgo. But let me get your oracle cards here so I can get you out of here. Oh, oh, love that, Virgo. Because you got the Imagine card here. And it's like, imagine yourself as that leader. You know, imagine yourself as that one with all the confidence. Imagine yourself healing. Imagine yourself staying, whatever it is that you want to imagine. Imagine what success looks like for you, what abundance looks like, what change looks like for you. And then again, go get it. Go get it, Virgo. Because this is a dope energy. It's like you're coming into, see how this moon is pulling this spirit up to this higher vibration, that you're ascending, you're evolving, leveling up there. So utilize that to your disposal there, Virgo. That's a very powerful energy, and I feel like that you can really do some dope stuff with that. So I'm with that. I'm excited to see what you conjure up there. But you stay safe out there, Virgo. Do some self-care, you know, with this healing energy. Allow, you know, Ace of Cups, show yourself some compassion, some kindness. Raise your vibration through the roof. Because I feel like you got some big things are cooking up here, Virgo. But it's just believing that you can. And then keeping that willpower. And I will catch you. Oh, that was a little hard. On the next one. That'll knock myself out later.